Hello everyone, this is Josiah on Each One Teach One. Today I have a tutorial for you. I'd like to share this tutorial with you because I think it's very important for you to understand the implication whenever you download a mobile application on your phone. Okay, so before we start off, I would like to thank Lockdown LLC because Lockdown LLC supports Each One Teach One. And as you well know, on Each One Teach One, we bridge the gap between the mentors and the mentees in the continent, and we try to encourage the youth, support them, teach them, train them, and give them gainful employment. So we also have engaged in a class where we teach those females or women who are trying to cut over from their career to the IT cloud area. So we are committed to helping them out to gain much needed knowledge in bridging the gap so that they can be a part of a contributing part of their new career. So that's just about that. Before I'll start off, I'll just say that if you're a new subscriber, to go ahead and subscribe. If you're already with us, like it and continue to share the contents because that's how we get the numbers going up. That way we can reach a huge number of people and we can share this knowledge with every one of you guys. And also, if you look at that notification button right there or notification bell, you would like to click on it. So each time that I have some of this delivery out, you'll be able to get them. So now let's get right on it. Today, the special tutorial is a special topic which most of you hear about but never really figured out what it's all about. So I'm gonna keep it really simple. Again, hello. Okay, I'm just assuming that you are looking on the screen right now, so I said hello because hello is the first line on the screen. So we're gonna talk about Mobile Security Framework or MobSF. So this is a penetration testing framework for mobile application. It has a testing for Windows, iOS, or Android. But I don't know, Windows doesn't have a lot of action in smartphone area or mobile application area nowadays. But still, it is what it is. It could be used to do majority of these. And some of the strata or areas that we will talk about include the static and dynamic analysis. Okay, and static analysis here is more of a security testing done for softwares, which mobile application is a software. And then you have the dynamic analysis. For static analysis, you look at the code reviews and etc. etc. You look at the URL trackers, malware analysis, and many other things. Okay, and also you look at the you look at the injection or what they call OWASP top 10 vulnerabilities. You look at injection. You look at SML as standard entity, SME as standard entity. Sorry. You look at the cross-site scripting. You look at cross-site certificate forgery. You look at broken authentication. You look at implementing wrongfully implementing security and etc. and etc. The list goes on. Now that's one strata. That's one of the strata. Then the second one will be malware analysis. In malware analysis, it checks to see if there's a malware there. If there's one, it analyzes it and checks its hash as far as the footprints it has, and compare that to the threat intelligence cloud, or compare it with Alien Vault or Total Virus Total. These are the repository for known viruses and malwares, and these are where hashes are kept, and they are compared to the ones that are already known, just like you have in your antivirus. Okay, moving forward. So we also have web API testing. API is an application programming interface. Application programming interface is pretty much a blueprint of how services or how two computers communicate with themselves. So you can have a web application and you can have a web services. Now, web services can be a application programming interface. They can be an API, but API cannot be a web service. So the difference there now is very clear. Web services will have a couple of services that are running across each other. Like say if I have a website, you can register on my website. It takes some codes or application for you to register on my website, because you have to call the admin on the website under the hood to actually register you and create an inbox account for you, and etc. and etc. But behind that, there's also a server where everything is held on. So there's still a pipeline to communicate you with the portal, to communicate with the server. And again, when the messages are sent, you still have to go through some webmail clients or some other clients. So all these things are pipelines that are connecting everything together. In that case, all these services are web of services. So you have web services, okay? And you have to remember that. But the difference between the web services and API are very distinct. API usually are going through HTTP. Most of the time, the web services has to have HTTPS. They have to have that TLS or SSL involved. Okay, but the APIs are they're special animal of their own. They are designed in a specific way. Most of them are using JSON, Java, JSON, markup languages, and for web services, you are looking at XML, and there are different ones out there. Okay, so the understanding is application programming interface is a blueprint that allows the client to talk to the server through a specific pipeline that's like for that particular application and the service that's running in the server. Okay, so you can use it to carry on claims to the server, where the server checks the claims for being authentic or matching what it already has. So these are one of the things you can do with it. Then if the claims are right, you get authenticated. If the authenticated is good, maybe that's one more step, you can get authorized to resources, and so on and so forth. That's how API works. And APIs relies on JSON, and some of the tools that are used for testing API and managing API, one of them could be Postman. You can check it out. There are many other ones out there. Okay. Now, next, there's a support. MobSF has a support for APK, which is the packaging that is done for Android devices, and IPA is pretty much the packaging done for iOS, and APS same thing. So there are other things like zipper, source codes. These are the special formats that some of the packaging is done so that the a nefarious actor will not have an access to an APK that's developed. They are thereby planting maybe a malware or something really malicious in the APK. So most APKs are very vulnerable to most mobile applications are vulnerable to this. Not APIs. Okay, APIs are application programming interface, and APK are just the packaging that is done for a source code so that you can pretty much wrap it around many other things, so that way it would be hard for somebody to get to the source code, and therefore would not be able to learn the business logic of the source code or be able to copy it or duplicate it or do something with it. That's the protection that's on there. So moving forward, what I have just described to you are the processes or some of the tools that I use and the areas that are majorly addressed when it comes to mobile application security. And under security, application security, basically security, you have testing and other things. So penetration testing, vulnerability testing, and the rest of them. So there's one truth or a fact I wanted to leave with you guys today before we get right into it. Just remember that a weak front end is equally feeding into a weak backend. So a crappy front end is a crappy backend, especially in the API era. Since API are serving a lot of purposes for us, bridging that gap, creating that pipeline between the client and the server, and each of these and all these devices therein are like a basket full of holes that we are plugging. Okay, so each time we have to do something, we open up a hole, and then we can communicate. So as you can see, there's so many holes, and it's so hard to control these holes, and that's why cybersecurity seems to be a good business. Okay, so I call cybersecurity band-aid culture because it really sees making of tools to that end. It continues, and the real problem are never nipped in the bud. So we love creating new things in cybersecurity. So I don't know if that's really great or bad. All right. So there's nothing I wanted to talk about the CVSS and CVE and CWSS and CWE and OWASP. So I'm not sure about MAVS, but you can check it out. So CVSS is pretty much it's just common vulnerability scoring system, and it comes from common vulnerability enumeration, and that is from, I think it's from Microsoft. And then you have the CWSS, which is common weakness um, score system or scoring system, common weakness scoring system. That came from a very powerful agency in security, and that's SAN. And the things, the score or metrics came out of CWE, which are common weakness enumeration. Just like the OWASP top 10, they are pretty much the same thing. Those are the major vulnerabilities. So in MobSF, they have something called application security. Okay, it's like taking all these cumulative scores from all these metrics and come up with something, including other variations in the tests that we are going to do. And that's why you have to pay attention to that. Okay, so the way the tutorial is organized is kind of backwards. So you have the installation, configuration, and MobSF, running MobSF. Today I'm gonna run MobSF. Next time I'm gonna do the installation, and next time I'm gonna do the configure, and next time I'm gonna run MobSF again. My plan is to run about 10 mobile applications that you use on a regular basis. And if you have any application that you want me to test or do penetration testing on and show you, especially the static analysis, security testing, I will be more than happy to do that. So I just need you guys to be engaged as we work together, and let's go ahead and get started, and I'll show you to the best of my knowledge what needed done. First, there are requirements, and you can find this site very useful. Is I think it's MobSF. Yeah, it should be that. Oh, okay, if it's not that, there's a better way to find it. Just go to Google and type MobSF. MobSF. Google knows everything. Remember, Google's your friend. Now here you see, you will learn everything that I'm about to show you. It's not difficult. I will just guide you, and I'm just sharing the tutorial with you. I'm not really teaching you anything. So now you see there are getting started requirements, installation, running MobSF, and the rest of them. There's something interesting I wanted to show you. So under the requirements, these are the stuff that you have to do. But as you can see, it has it for Mac, Ubuntu, and Windows. So I'm focusing on Windows. Why? Windows has majority users. Not only that, hackers spend a lot of time on Windows because that's where the money is. They go where that money is. And a lot of people use Windows as well because it's usually a productivity kind of software or application. Therefore, we'll spend a little bit of time on the Windows. Now, moving forward, installation. This is the installation for Windows. Today is not the day for that, but we get to it. Running MobSF. Yeah, this is what we're gonna do today. All right, let's start off. I am going to go to CMD. I want to start. I've already installed it, but I want to start it. I want to make it run right now. So I'm gonna go and bring up the CMD, which is the command prompt. Excuse me, and then I'm gonna find the repository. I mean the folder where I kept the repository for MobSF, the one that I cloned from GitHub. I'm sorry, my throat is a little dry, so I have water in it now, so I should be okay. So fine, I am going to where I kept that thing. I downloaded. Okay, the repository, I cloned it from there. Now I found where it's at, so I'm gonna change my directory. Apparently you guys are not seeing this part of it. Anyway, I'll just show you guys what I was doing. So I was trying to find this here. So I found a directory right here, okay, and I copied the directory, and that's that for that. And I come here to CMD and I change the directory CD, as you can see right there. So I change the directory and I give it a little space and I paste that there and I go boom. I entered it, and now this is what I get. Right now I can run the run.bat, which allows us to bring up the server. The server is running on a specific a specific port, and that's port 8000. Okay, it's running on port 8,000. So once I click enter, it's gonna start running. And once it start running, I'll follow the URL, which usually my localhost and that port, and I'll go there where it's running, and I'll show you guys what is running. I have a couple of instances that I've run, and I have about 2 of them that I ran, and the next 2 that I ran has an error. It's sort of like an error type, so therefore they had a higher. They had some higher configurations whereby the MobSF wasn't updated to go that high, and it wasn't, those ones weren't successful. But there's over 100% success rate in all. Okay, so now the server is running. What I had to do is I have to copy this. There are 2 ways I can do it. I can just copy this, or I can just say localhost. But for ease, I'll just copy that, then I paste it here, and I'll just do that. And let's see what happens. Voila! There you go. We have the GUI for MobSF. This is the GUI for MobSF. It's HTML. It's made out of HTML anyway. You can see that. And here you can see the recent scans. Like I said, I had some scans that I've done. These 2 scans are good, and these 2 scans, they stopped in the way because there's some error type thing that happened in the process. So I'm gonna delete the ones that weren't good, and I'm gonna delete the next one too, and it's gone. So after deleting them, I would like to run two other applications, but before I do that, I want to show you the score. Okay, I'm gonna show you the score of these ones that are here, so you can see for yourself. I'm just gonna go to a static report for Zoom, the famous Zoom. So from the static report, you can see here that Zoom has 5.9 in the scoring. This is CVSS score. Remember, I told you it was common vulnerability scoring system. In that system, it goes from 1 to 10, 10 being the most risky, and then 1 being the low risk. So with what you're seeing right here, you can see that it's pretty much medium, sort of like in CVSS score. But look at where you need to pay attention at the security score that I told you about. It's more like a cumulative score in here. Look, Zoom got a 10. That simply tells me that Zoom got a 0. There's no flipping security in that application. And then moving forward, I will also try to show you the number of users that it had. It has over 100 million plus and counting users. See that? And it's also it claims to be good for businesses as well. And look at the score that it had. Moving forward, I'd like to go get the PDF report here so that we can read in depth about Zoom where it comes to the scoring and how that scoring came about. That scoring is not a magic number, okay? So I'll go down below, and in order to promote the makers of this application, I'll go below here to show you everything about the makers and the version that I'm running, just to let you know. Alright, so that's that, and it's copyrighted, it's present, is really current, as you can see here. Thanks to Ajahn Abraham with Open Security. You can check them out and see what they do. Moving forward, now when you look at the app security score, I'll tell you how they came up with the app security score. Right before you start testing your application, they give you 100%, meaning that okay, we assume you're good until we start testing you. And then once you start testing, if there's anything severe or high level kind of risk, they will subtract a 15 from that 100, and they continue doing that. If you have something like not really bad but not that high, they will take a 10 out of you. But if you have something exceptionally good and interesting stuff that you've done, however, that looks good, they didn't find any weakness, they will add a 5 to you. So at the end of the day, if you are making all these points, at the end of the day you get 100. If you are losing all these points, say you lose all out and then you get a 0, at the end of the day they give you a 10. This is why I said that Zoom actually scored a 0 and they managed to grab a 10. Alright, I've shown you some of the stuff that they were tested for, and I'll go back again to highlight on some of the tests that was done. So we're going to go back one step backwards. We might not want to do this again. So here it will look at the scan options, gives you sign-on certificate, which in this case is bad. As you can see right here, it is bad. Now permissions, some of the permissions are pretty much common, like camera, phone. We allow them to use all of that. So some of these are dangerous, but some of these apps, the way they were designed, they have to do all those stuff. It also is collecting GPS information too, so that's how risky that app is. Some apps don't collect this. Pay attention to apps that collect GPS of you. It's bad enough that you have the phone, but pay really attention. The reason why I'm showing you this penetration testing video on mobile app is for you to see what the app you're using have on them, what these apps have on them, or what the app has on them. So it's very important for you to see these things. So it's not a joke. The world that we are living in right now is moving to a digital age, and you have to pay attention to what is going on. It's much better for you to know the risk that the app on your phone has, and you continue to use it, as opposed to ignorant. Ignorance is not going to help you. If you ignore the dangers, it will get you in a lot of trouble. The more you know, we expect you to be smarter and fearless. Okay, so I need you to examine what you're using and be confident in using it whichever way. If it is risky, you know, okay, I have that risk there, so I'm gonna deal with it. So that's what I'm talking about moving forward. So you also have the binary analysis. It does binary analysis. As you can see here, well, it's just informational for this case, and then it checks the API application programming interface. Like here you have the Android notification, you have base64 decoders. They use these things here. You see what they're doing? So they are calling the other URL or standard URLs to perform specific functions. Okay, not necessarily a standard URL, but some classes they have somewhere. Okay, look at the crypto. There are some interesting cryptos that they are using. I see hashing and bystring and etc. and etc. So they have executor and system. These are APIs that are performing some things for them. Let's pay attention to see if we can see anything interesting, and that's done. Okay, browsable activities. These are browsable activities, US, DB, and mind you, any of these URLs can, they cannot forge it because it was decompiled. These were what were originally in the source code. So we are looking at them right now as if we were writing the code. Look at this activity. com.dropbox call Android activity is not protected. So they're doing something with Dropbox, as you can see, and activity is found to be shared with other apps. Okay, they're sharing your app, whatever information you have, or whatever is happening, that this Zoom is being shared with Dropbox. And then you have the same thing here, the same thing here, and so on and so forth. So on the broadcast receiver is majorly for like messaging apps. So broadcast is fine to be shared. This one is also shared. They're sharing too many things. So you don't know who's good or bad. So now coming to code analysis, there are some issues here. For example, app can read write to a standard storage. These are common. Most apps do this. Most apps, they do this. Okay. All right. So like I said to you, these are the standards that is being evaluated over. And CVS says that's a score. This one, CW, is actually a weakness. OWASP top 10 is also a weakness. And OWASP MSVS, yeah, I was supposed to write MASVS, yeah. So there are many things on code analysis that I found here in red. This is warning is at 10. Hi, these are 15 subtracted. As you can see, there's called a really big fat 0. Okay, moving forward, security analysis. This one gets really interesting. So it's looking at manifest analysis, which is here. It's gonna see what you have here in the manifest. Okay, so if you're sharing a lot of stuff, they're gonna flag it like they did here. We've done code analysis. Let's look at file analysis. So they have certificate key files hard coded into the app. Did you guys see this? certificate key files are hard coded into the app. This is no good. Hard coded key store found. Key store is where you see when you are trying to sign one of these APKs release version, there's a key store. They're saying that they stored their key store in there. So that means if I have, it's interesting. If I get a hold of this key store, well, anyway, key store has a password. Maybe I can guess the password and hopefully get it. But this is a dangerous coding practice right there. So this one is APK ID analysis. There's nothing found for it, which is also bad. An APK should have at least an ID that identifies it all the way to the owners. So you have the domain malware check, which is good. They got green and all of that. Nothing else. So they're doing good on that. So same thing here. The Firebase. Okay, let's check the malware analysis. See what they found on malware analysis. So nothing. APK ID. They're looking good. Domain malware check. The URLs. They didn't find anything. I'm sure if they found anything in malware, they wouldn't have it on Google Play Store anywhere. But this tells me that Zoom sucks and is still on Google Play Store. That's too bad. So now, as a viewer, or as a subscriber, or somebody that's interested in what I'm doing, you have seen it for yourself. You didn't have a third party to tell you anything. You saw it right here, and I demonstrated that. I ran this. But I will also show you another app before I actually practically run one. I am saying we'll run WhatsApp after I show you this app. This is interesting. Pay attention to this app. This app is not in Google Play Store, but look at the score for average CVSS, 5.8. And look at the security score, 75 out of 100. There is no app on the planet that has 75 out of 100. Okay? Look at it. It's amazing. All right. So it will have general faults. It's not on Google Play Store. It's just few people are using it. People that I know, people that know me, and stuff like that. So I would like for you to be a part of the users of this app. This app is very, very well thought out and is strong. Yes, you make calls with the app, so you have to, give us access to the camera. You make calls with you do SMS, and we try to secure your SMS, so we need to get access to that. And the internet also, we allow you to stream over the internet, so we need access to that. And we read your contact because we want you to send SMS to your contact and be in group chat with your contact, so we have to read it. And all this external storage and internal storage, yes, we have to have access to it, and we do have access to it. And everything is encrypted, unlike many others. As you can see, the score tells the story. I'm not making it up. And after this, we're going to run WhatsApp. We're going to run it, clearly run it, cut and dry. We're going to run WhatsApp right now. Okay? So there's nothing else to see here. So everything checks out. As you can see, we don't have a lot of reds. And this is locked down Cache app, and not a lot of people know about this app, and I will show you guys some interesting stuff when we run WhatsApp. All right, let's go to static analyzer and run WhatsApp. It will take a little while, but bear with me, be patient, and it will be done. It will be over before you know it. So I have a folder where I have most of this stuff extracted on already. Yeah, I forgot to show you guys. The way I got all this APK is what I'm going to tell you. Let me just grab WhatsApp. Let me grab WhatsApp real quick, okay? And I'm going to show you guys how I got this APK. There's something called APK extractor. APK extractor. So what the APK extractor does is it will take, when you download it on your phone, what it does is it will enumerate all the apps that you have on your phone, and it will extract whatever the APK is. It will extract them and line them up like so that if you need the APK, you can just click and share it. You just click and share it, and you can drop it in a Dropbox or send it to Skype like so. Or you send it to Skype and You can, from the Skype, you can put it here on your desktop. You see, you can have it so like share, and you share it on your you share it to Dropbox, or you share it to any social media, or you can share it to Skype, where you can finally drag it and put it right here, okay, on your computer, so you can analyze it. So that's that. Moving forward, if you guys need it, just go here and type APK extractor. It shows up. I just leave it right there, okay. There's no link. All right, moving forward. So let's go check out the CMD and see what's going on. As you can see, at such and such time, 1823 is only 1827 now. So it started here, right there. It started right here. That's where it started, right here. So it's going and it's going and it's going, and it's almost gonna be done. Oh, it's about done. It's done. Dictating trackers, compiling Java with JADS. So next thing you're gonna see now, Dex class to Smalley. That's what you're gonna see. After that, you finally get to the source code, which was the original code that the writer or the developer was writing at that time, and that is how they wrote it before they finally packaged it, so that nobody can decompile it. So they actually put it together and packaged it up so that you can't circumvent it. But now we have decompiled it because we are doing penetration testing for the mobile application, that we're exposing the vulnerabilities that are in the mobile application. This stands under security testing in general. So specifically, we are running the static analysis as a part of the combo: static analysis and dynamic analysis security testing. So it will be done before you know it. Remember, we're gonna do 10 apps, probably one a day till we get it all done. And each time we do the apps, we will compare it to Lockdown Cash App. Each time we do the app, we're gonna compare it to Lockdown Cash App to see how well they do. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna keep doing this comparison. If you know other apps that people are telling you is so good and is so secure, and I know a lot of people think that all the apps in Google Play Store, well, not a lot of people, few people might be thinking that they are not secure, but the truth is we found out today that they're not really secure. So everything on Google Play Store, don't think is secure, because if it's not secure, Google want it, because Google make money from information. So if it's not secure, Google want it. I don't know what else to say, but that's a common logic. That's how I look at it. So moving forward here, let's see what is left here, and it's still going. So while that is happening, let's talk a little bit about the public key infrastructure cryptography of today. So I don't know if you guys know, the whatever we're using today for security is broken, and the government is called for paper, and there are a few people that are working on some specific things that will stand against quantum computing. And it happened that Lockdown has done something really advanced in that aspect, and that's what we put on the Lockdown Cash App. That's why it's performing really good. So because of direction, a parallel direction in what is today, which becomes an option to us, I think people should consider what we are doing and actually try to use them. At least use the app and see what it is. You can find the app. It's not in Google Play Store. You can find it if you go to our website, which is here. So if you go there, I purposefully put it on the documentation. If you go there, don't go on that documentation. It's only available for Android phone right now, because we wanted to study the trend before we come out with the iOS. iOS is a closed entrant, is a closed license. we think it probably be more challenging to deal with them, so we started with Android, and it wasn't that easy dealing with Google in any case, especially when you have something really secure. So it becomes problematic dealing with Google and in that area. So this is the website here, and I just upgraded my Mozilla Firefox, and probably is not a stable version and it's taking so long to pop up. But let's go down to the CMD to see if we are all caught up with the whole thing. So it's doing Java source code now analysis, code analysis for Java, which means, uh, oh, is oh, it has already converted to the Java source. You see, that's to Smalley, like I told you guys. Okay, it didn't have any standard extra class, so WhatsApp is not even that complicated of a program, but it is very convenient to use. We all love WhatsApp, but at least we're gonna find out how good they did. We're gonna find out by the time we finish the 10 top popular apps, we're gonna find out who sits on top of it. Again, if anybody's interested in knowing more or they have an app they want me to test, hit me up. I'll test it for you. Also, if the women are there, the girls are there listening, we are offering a Windows class for the cloud, AWS cloud. We are training right now, and we just started. And we like for you guys to join us in the class because the class is free, and you have nothing to lose. Just be a part of it and do the best you can. All right. I hope more people watches this video because it's really touchy-feely kind of video. At least you know for sure the apps on your phone, how they're set. So nothing will make you prouder than knowing that, okay, that app I know is not secure, so I'm gonna do XYZ with it. Or the other app I know is much better, so I'll just front it whenever I'm dealing with XYZ stuff. So we, the people, the population, our privacy is very important. We should start taking it seriously. We should control our data. Those who can control their information will be able to control their future. It is very important because we're coming over to this is trying times. These are very interesting times in human history. We should not play around with our information anymore. That's why you have GDPR regulation, CCPA, which is closely equivalent to GDPR, which is General Data Regulation. Okay, from Europe, the Europeans came up with that. General Data Privacy Regulation, they came up with that, and CCPA is almost like that. I'd say it's a copycat sort of kind of thing, but it's kind of different. But the policies are different given the geographical locations and all that. So this is taking a little while, but let's see. It seems like everything is working. It's working well. Oh, it's about done. It's done. It's doing malware checks on extracted domains. It already detected Firebase. Firebase is how you get the OTP and many other things with is how you get OTP and many other things with Google. They have this Firebase cloud messaging. So if you have a messaging app, you have to talk to them, so you can get the blessing from the grandfather, from the father and the grandfather. That's Google. So look at this, it's quite amazing. Average CVS score, you see, is very high. So this is not that great of an app, although it sits at the high medium, almost like above medium is like large. So you look at the security score is 0 again. So all these apps on Google Play Store, how come they're all scoring 10? We had done 2 and they scored 10. Okay, we'll keep looking at them. So the users here, 5 billion and still counting. 5 billion users and still counting. Whoa, this is amazing. It's on Google Play Store. It's known as WhatsApp Messenger. Every one of us has them. Every one of us has them on their phone. So look at how it's rated. 207 activities, 39 services, 7 providers. Look, let's check his certificate. You see, the certificate is bad. See? Man, it's just the same story all over again. So, this is just about it. I think I would like to wrap up now, but I would like for you guys to share this with as much people as you can. And I'll keep bringing this up to you. I will make the complicated security aspect of things very easy for you. I will bring it to you from the layman's perspective. I will break things down for all of you. I really appreciate you guys watching this program. I put a lot of passion in it because I really love showing you guys what is going on under the hood. This is Josiah again, and I'm about to wrap up. Before I go, please share the link, subscribe. If you are new, go ahead and subscribe. If you're already with us, the only thing I ask of you is just like this. Get the like button up and share this thing with all your friends and family. Make sure you hit that bell, notification bell, so anytime I'm doing some of my tutorial, any of my tutorials, you'll be the first to know. Thank you again. I'm signing off. Josiah from Each One, Teach One. Bye for now.